there. Oh, hey, how are you? Can I help you with anything? Yeah, I'm just looking at this two over here, trying to decide between the two of them. I believe you were here a week ago or so, right? Yeah, I was here last week. Yes, I remember. I saw you around here looking at the same cars. So have we made a decision? Yeah, I don't know. I need to talk to my wife. I'm not quite sure about this too, what she wants, right? You know, wives. Oh, okay, of course, yeah, of course. You have to talk to them. I believe I heard the same thing last week. Now, do you have your phone with you by any chance? Phone? Yes, your phone. Yeah, I have a phone. Do you mind if I borrow it for a sec? Here you go. Thank you. Is the Witch XXX your wife? Yeah, that's her. Okay, just bear with me for a second. Why are you calling her? Hello, ma'am. Yes. Hi, my name is Sam. I'm calling from Volkswagen. It's a dealership located in Ontario. Just wanted to talk to you for a second because I have your husband in our dealership. He's been here for a second time today, and just wanted to talk to the decision maker of the house. Yes, I believe, yes. You've been looking for a car so far. Yes. Okay. Yeah, he's looking at the Atlas here and the Atlas Cross Sport. Yes, ma'am, the big Atlas does give you more seating position, but you get bigger trunk on this side. Okay. Okay. Okay, so you're not buying a car. Okay, yeah, just wanting to make sure that the gentleman is not wasting our time here. Okay, perfect. I understand. Great. Well, it was very nice talking to you. And if you're looking for a car in the future, please do let us know. We'll be happy to help you. Okay. Have a nice day. Thank you. Sure. You don't need a car. Thank you. That's weird. Yes. Hi, Annie. Yes, I heard. Yep, I heard. See you home. Hello and welcome back to another video. We're back again in St. Catharines, Ontario to compare two in-brand vehicles, same brand, basically Volkswagen. We are back at Volkswagen St. Catharines. For today's video, we're going to compare the Volkswagen Atlas, of course the standard vehicle, and the new model, the Atlas Cross Sport. Well, we want to find out for today's video, what do they offer? What's the difference between the two of them in terms of price, space, and technology? And of course, we're going to talk about how they drive. We'll take this for a test drive. I've already reviewed this against the Palisade. If you want to watch that comparison, the link will be in the description box. But for today's video, I want to find out what these two offer, and of course, which one is the best. Probably has to depend on your needs, but I will give you my opinion in terms of these two, how they compare against each other. So if you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe and like, and let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. These two cars are provided to us, as I mentioned previously, thanks to our good partner, Volkswagen St. Catharines, for allowing me to review both of them and tell you a little bit more about these two vehicles. If you want to know more about their dealership, if you want to take this for a test drive or the Atlas, the link will be in the description box and of course their Instagram account. Now, let us begin and review this too. Now let us start with the front area. What's the difference between these two vehicles? Well, first of all, let's start with the headlights. The shape on that vehicle is very different. It's more like a U-style on each side. This one, it's like an L shape from here to there on the inside for the turning signal. Of course, they're both LED headlights. This one doesn't look like it offers any fog lights. That has fog lights at the bottom. But now the major difference between the two of them, well, it is with the logo. You see, this one here, it's the new logo for the Volkswagen brand. Meanwhile, that's the old style logo. As you can see, this is much thinner, but it's still similar. It's just that the shape has changed on the inside, and of course, the colors as well And the colors are remaining the same actually. This one is silver, that's in silver on the outside, then black on the inside, silver on the outside area. The actual grille also is different in both vehicles. You can see a cross in this area. It's not massively different, but you can tell the difference how they're shaped. Compare the Atlas over there to the Cross Sport over here. Now let's talk about the prices. First of all, that in Canada starts at $37,000. This, on the other hand, starts at $39,000. Again, that's for the base model, and of course, depends on the package you pick, you will be paying, of course, more. That one, of course, has the R-Line package, which you can get for this one as well, an R-Line Cross Sport Atlas. Now, in the States, that one starts about $31,000. This, they haven't said anything about the prices yet. I couldn't find anything on the website regarding the pricing for this model. It just says coming soon. Surprisingly, in Canada, this one is already offered. The new Atlas Cross Sport will be available in 8 trim levels. They're pretty much the same as the 2020 Atlas, except for the addition of the SEL Premium R line to the Cross Sport lineup. One thing they have in common, well, the key fobs. They're literally identical. They both offer remote start from the key fob. As you can see, you can probably download an app as well. But the key fobs are exactly the same for both vehicles. Now, let's talk about what they have under the hood. First of all, they both offer similar engines. So you can pick on this side either the V6 or you can get the 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. The one that we have for today's video, the Cross Sport, has the 4-cylinder turbocharged engine. Meanwhile, over there, the Atlas, the regular, offers you the V6 engine. I have already driven that vehicle with that engine. I want to compare it to the 4-cylinder, how it compares in terms of driving dynamics and, of course, how it handles on the road. But what has changed in terms of the engine is actually the logo. As you can see, the logo on the 4-cylinder for the Cross Sport is different from the one in the Atlas Standards vehicle. Now, what about the size? Are these two different or are they equally? They're both the same when it comes to the wheelbase. This is 117 inches long. The same thing on this side. When it comes to the width as well, this is 78-inch wide. This is 78-inch wide. Well, it's 78.3. The reason why they're similar is because what's in the back of the Atlas Cross Sport, which I'll show you in a second. It comes to the convenience package, where they both have keyless entry, of course, and they both have blind spot assist. And of course, the mirrors are almost exactly the same, with the turning signal located onto the mirror. So they're actually very, very similar in convenience package. They're not too far what they offer. Now here's where things change a lot, the rear side. As you can see on this side, the Atlas Cross Sport, it's technically like a hatchback, but of course it has the Cross Sport term, which is used for the Audi Q8 as well, similar style. So technically like a hatchback gone to the gym and on steroids. Right now it has bigger body, of course, it just doesn't have a lot more horsepower. It has the same horsepower as this thing over here, but the style is different compared to this. As you can see, this area kind of like it flows well all the way to the bottom. Also, they both have the LED tail lights. The difference starts over here at the bottom. This one doesn't have a visible exhaust tip. As you can see, you have only that chrome style, but it's technically not the exhaust. This one on the other side there, you can see the exhaust tip right at the bottom. So that's one major difference as well. Also, they both say Atlas onto this area. They both have that chrome line all the way across. In terms of convenience, well, they both have of course, slide your foot under to open the actual trunk. The same thing on this side. So they both power, and of course, you can open it through the key fob as well. Now, on the inside, on the rear side, this one offers 3-row seats compared to the Atlas Cross Sport. This, on the other hand, well, it has a huge, massive cargo volume on the rear side. Let me open it for you. Let me show you exactly what I mean. When it comes to the cargo volume, well, don't worry, because you have quite a lot. Because you see, because it has the same wheelbase as the regular Atlas, what they have done is that they've used this area specifically for the cargo. So they have removed the 3-row seats, of course, lowered the base over here to give it that sport, to give it that Cross Sport style, and basically give you a lot more room when it comes to the cargo volume. So that way you have enough space to put whatever the hell you want, because this thing is huge compared to that. So basically what you're doing is basically sacrificing the 3rd row seats to use it for the cargo volume. Well, in here, you still have space, the same thing as the crossboard. The difference is that you see this part here is where the third row seat sits. Let me show you if we lift that area. There you go. So now you have a third row seat. So you're basically, if you don't need the third row seat, well, the crossboard could be your better option. And of course, if you like the style on the rear side. This, on the other hand, is of course for big families, but with the third row seat down, pretty much the same cargo volume as the crossboard. Also, you have more space over here because this one does not go down the same way as it does in the crossboard because of the actual style. Okay, so here where things change a bit as well. Now, because the design of this vehicle, of course, it's not the most spacious compared to the Atlas, the original one. Now, that doesn't mean that it's like cramped in here. You still have some space. I have headroom, of course. Still space, tons of space in the front. The seat is positioned in a way where I can actually sit myself if I was the driver. So you still have a lot of space. The only difference is that the actual vehicle on the rear side on the Atlas is designed higher compared to this one. In terms of technology, they're both very similar. Of course, that depends on the package. You can get heated seats on the rear side, the climate control unit in here, something this doesn't have, but that package has it because it's a fully loaded one. For this, you'd get the next step one. Like, they have like nice leather, not the pure leather you'd find on a different package, like the X line, for example. You still have 2 USB ports at the bottom, so they're not far off from each other on this area. It's just more about the space that it offers on the Atlas. As you can see with the as you can see while I'm sitting in the Atlas, you can see the difference a bit more. Now, what I want to say about the crossboard, I expect it to be smaller on the second row seat because usually crossboard styles are sort of short on the rear side and it's hard to fit in comfortably. Okay, so let's talk about this area. First of all, everything in here that you see is literally identical to the one that is on the Atlas. Like everything, including the dashboard, including this area, except this. The steering wheel has the new logo and it is the new design, of course, much smoother, more refined. I absolutely love that simplistic style of the logo. Just entering there, it doesn't look big, it's not in your face constantly. Very nice and well designed. The steering wheel is thinner as well. You still have the flat bottom area similar to the normal Atlas on that side. You still get the same features, heated steering wheel and so on. This unfortunately doesn't have the full digital cluster with the map display, but you can, of course, in a different package. The same thing on this side. You can get wireless charging pads, full electrical seat with memory seats as well. This does have, with this package, the power seats. When it comes to the infotainment system, similar infotainment system on both vehicles as well. And of course, the climate change in here. This one is equipped with the heated seats, but you can get extra options. And of course, that has to do with the actual package that you pick. You have, of course, the parking assist. You also have the full driver system package. You can get a 360 camera. You can get a backup camera as well. You have all that option, depends on the package that you pick. In here, you have 2 USB ports as well. Even the armrest is very similar on both. So all in all, in here, both vehicles are almost the same when it comes to design and technology, except, as I mentioned, the steering wheel. This vehicle, of course, equipped a full panoramic roof, similar to the Atlas with the shades. They can adjust it from here, but it doesn't offer, of course, the compartment for the sunglasses, something that I find it annoying because I carry sunglasses during summertime a lot. I'm sure a lot of you guys as well carry sunglasses, and it would be nice to have some space. It feels like it's completely empty here. They could have used that plastic area for the sunglass compartment. They both have exactly the same shift knob, same driving mode, same button as well, power handbrakes as well, parking assistance as well. So they're very, very similar on that. Okay, let's go for a drive. I want to see how this thing feels compared to the big Atlas. Although it's kind of weird to say big because it has a third row seat, because other than that, they're pretty much the same. This is one thing you feel with this one is that it doesn't feel as big. Now going back to the size, it doesn't feel as big as that. That feels like a proper 3-row seater. This one, even though, again, same wheelbase, same width as well, so it's just so different. I must say, though, that I very much love this steering wheel. Very nice, very refined logo. I like it more than the other one, actually. And I like the fact that they kept the flat bottom in this car. Well done to Volkswagen on that. Now, when it comes to the cabin noise, this does feel a bit more isolated than that. I didn't bring our machine because it broke down and I've ordered a new one. The same one. That one, I actually dropped it and somehow it won't turn on. Changed the batteries and somehow it won't turn on. Very accurate though, but I'm gonna order a new one. I actually have ordered a new one to test it out in our next video, but I will say that this does feel slightly quieter than that. Now keep in mind that this one uses a smaller engine and it might make noise because of that turbocharged engine and you can hear a little bit more. I do think though the overall isolation in here is slightly better than the Atlas, and if you ever try them back to back, you'll notice that difference right away. Now in numbers, I would say maybe 2 or 3 dB better, I mean lower than the regular big Atlas. Now keep in mind that that is because even the space inside the big Atlas is different too, like the seats and all that. That could be possibly because the sound echoes more, I guess. When it comes to visibility, I noticed right away the short rear windshields compared to the big Atlas, even though that has 3-row seat and you couldn't see behind the actual seats. Because the 3rd row seat, if it's up, you can't see very well. This, on the other hand, is because it's shorter. Now, you can still see, but you can't see much above. You can't see much under the actual trunk or where the windshield is located. I have enough visibility to see the car behind me. That's all I can say. When it comes to the area over here, well, visibility is perfect. Again, size-wise, they're not different at all. As I mentioned previously, they do have a lot of things in common. This thing will be built alongside the Passat and the Atlas as well. So they're going to be built in the same area, I believe, where Volkswagen builds the other cars. When it comes to comfort level for the seats in here, well, I do find it very similar to the Atlas. I still have tons of leg room. Very comfortable. I'm still very comfortable in terms of the steering wheel position as well. You can adjust it. It's manually adjustable with the lever located onto the left side. You can fix it based on the position you want it to be. But other than that, leg room, you can stretch your legs. The seat itself goes down quite a lot. That 4-cylinder engine really picked up really quickly. Now, let me put it into sport mode. Sport mode, you have to pull it all the way to the back to get it to sport mode. It's located onto the shift knob. The engine revs really high and it feels like it's struggling to pull the weight of this vehicle. As I was coming out of the exit, at the end, I'm like pedal to the metal and this thing is not picking up as fast as I wanted to. I think the V6 engine would do a better job to pull the weight of this vehicle. Don't forget that this is not a small vehicle. It's not like a Golf, a tiny vehicle that can do a lot with a 4-cylinder. This, on the other hand, is over 5,000 pounds of weight. So I think the V6 could be better. I did notice the V6 power output was a little bit better in this. Now, that is a naturally aspirated engine, of course. This, on the other hand, I have it in sport mode and it's struggling. It's struggling to pull the weight of the vehicle. If you're worried about fuel efficiency, I never mention the numbers when it comes to fuel consumption, because every test that is done for each vehicle is done in a different area, in a different time, in a different place. They're mostly done indoors. So when it comes to fuel efficiency, never worry about, unless it's like a V8 twin turbo that will burn a little bit of gas. It's more to do with how you drive rather than the engine of the vehicle. Forget about the numbers that they tell you online, because they've actually been proven many times that they're completely wrong because the way they're actually tested. So that always keep in mind when you buy a car. Just look at it, how it delivers the power. Look at it, look at it if the car is able to actually pull its own weight. It's the same thing as going to the gym. Trainers usually tell you, don't go to the machine first, try to pull your own weight, try to work and lose weight with your own weight before you get to the machine. It's the same thing with this. If it can't pull its own weight very well, then you don't want to get that kind of car unless you just don't care. You're like, well, that's fine. I only drive 60 kilometers an hour in a 100 zone. Then you're fine, except the fact that you actually block traffic. But keep in mind that this, compared to the V6, is not as good. I do find that this struggles quite a lot with this engine. The power, it's not quite there in my opinion. It doesn't. This thing needs a V6. If you had a V6 twin turbo, that would have been quite impressive, but then it would have been in the zone of the Q8. So I think the 4-cylinder, it could be better. It could be much more powerful than this, because like, look at this, pedal to the metal, and here you go. So you went like 4,000 to 6,000 right away, but my foot was all the way to the bottom. So it's not quite there when it comes to power delivery. Comfort level, the suspension system do a fair job to make sure this car, it doesn't hit hard on potholes, and you don't feel like someone is hammering you. You don't feel like someone is actually hitting you with a hammer on the rear side. Nice and comfortable, very much enjoyed the ride. The steering wheel is quite light. Now, it doesn't seem like this has the full package for driver assistant package. It only has for front assist, cross traffic alert. It doesn't have a lane assist, and it does have the gap assist as well. It would seem like this would require the rest of them, like lane assist and so on. But even cruise control still does a great job. It does warn you when you're going off the lane, but it will not put you back into the lane. Like, for example, the Lincoln that I'm currently driving for this week. So I would assume this will require you the X-Line package, the big trim, where you get all these features. Anyways, that was it for today. Thanks for watching. As always, don't forget to subscribe. Special thanks goes to St. Catherine's Volkswagen for allowing me to come back and review another vehicle. Well, actually 2 vehicles at the same time. If you want to know more about their dealership, of course, the link will be in the description box. At the same time, if you are a regular customer, don't forget that they actually have moved from that previous location, the small place they were before. Now they're in a different location on Lake Street. You'll find the address on the description box if you want to reach out and take this for a test drive. That was it for today. Cheers.